Hi, my name is Damon Riehl with LoanBidz.com. The Fed finally did it, raised interest rates by a quarter point. So stick with me. I'll tell you what that means to you in the private lending space and how that affects you as a real estate investor. So stick with me. If you like what you hear, hit the like or subscribe button, and I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So here it is. We're in March, second half of March, and situation where the Fed, as predicted, raised interest rates by a 0.25%. So what does that mean to you as a real estate investor? Well, it's really what's going ahead and what's going on with the lenders involved. So it's my understanding that many of the experts are predicting that the Fed is going to continue to raise at a 0.25 point each monthly meeting until later this year. And that could be 4, 6, 8 increases of a 0.25 point. So we're headed likely toward a Fed funds rate around 2%. But I think the Fed will be watching to see how the economy reacts, how the market reacts. And what does that mean to you as a real estate investor? Well, the first thing is, the lenders that are involved in this space, specifically for long-term loans, are increasing their rates pretty rapidly. Literally, many of our lenders are changing their rates daily, which is really unheard of in this particular marketplace because everything, rates have always been going down and they haven't really had to be as reactive to these interest rate increases. So the interest rates right now, if you're trying to track it and figure out how things are working, so it's loosely tied to the 10-year U.S. Treasury, or more specifically, the 10-year swap. So that's firmly over 2% right now, more in the 210 to maybe even 220 range before this video airs. Well, what does that mean? Well, if you think about it, when rates were at their lowest, which for a rental loan was around the 4.5% range, but you could actually pay points and buy it down into the 3s. Well, that was when Treasury rates were in the neighborhood of 120 to 140, 1.2 to 1.4, and now they're around 2.1 or higher. So in that particular case, just look at the difference there. It's 75 to 100 what are called basis points, or 0.75 to a full percent different from where we were at the low point. So now you're seeing the interest rates for these rental loans upwards, of mid-5s. Some of them are even approaching 6%, depending on where your credit score is. So that's to be expected. Take a look at your numbers and just take a look at whether you want to, accelerate your plans to go ahead and try to lock in these rates. Because as I mentioned, if the Fed continues to ratchet rates higher on the Fed funds rate, typically the mortgage rates will continue to move higher as well. Today on the radio, as I was coming into work, I heard that the average conforming mortgage right now is about 4.5%. Well, that's not far from where we are in the rental space, at around 5.5%. So again, it's something to think about. It's something to do some planning on. So if you've got properties that are close to completed, you may want to go ahead and get that loan process started. It's also a situation where let me give you an update quickly on the fix and flip market. We have not seen a big increase in rates in the fix and flip market, that short-term market, but I think you're going to see it. Up to this point, fix and flip rates, you could touch the 7% range, if you have the right level of experience. But right now, I think our average client gets in, the 8% range for a fix and flip. You could see that going back up to, 9-ish%, maybe even 10% as rates go higher. So again, take a look at your plans for 2022. We are seeing a resurgence in the number of fix and flip requests that we're getting. So we're excited to see that. We were a little down during the COVID period, but I think our investors are starting to find a few more deals than they have been throughout the last year and a half or so. I did also hear that, some of the foreclosures that were under moratorium for a number of years through COVID, those are starting to progress toward the finish line, and those properties may be available throughout this year as those foreclosures get completed. So if you need some help, if you need to do a fix and flip, you need to do a rental loan of some sort, get that in process, give us a call at 636-552-4710, or simply go to LoanBidz.com. Take 3 minutes, put in your loan request, and one of our account executives will get with you promptly. So until next week, everyone continue to stay safe.